Opening attachments from an external user. When someone sends you an attachment, it is sometimes difficult to know what to do. In this tutorial, I will show you 4 ways to handle external attachments and the pros and cons of each. Here you see David Miller Relk has shared an MS Word document, a PDF, and a JPEG with me. With the Word document, I've got 4 options. You can click on the preview image to preview the document. This is a good way to find out what the document contains and should give you an idea of what you should do with the document. So let's look at the pros and cons of the preview method. It's a great way to quickly find out what's in a document so you know what you can do with it, where it should go, all that kind of stuff. The difficulty with the preview method is you can't edit it. Next, you can click on the download icon. This will download the document so you can open it with MS Word. Downloaded documents automatically go into the Downloads folder. You'll most likely want to move this to another location for organizational purposes. And here we see it down here. It's being downloaded. I'm going to show it in Finder. There it is in Finder, and I can open it in MS Word. You most likely do not want to leave it here in the Downloads folder. Move it over to your documents. I'm going to close the Finder window. Let's look at the pros and cons for the download method. You can now edit the document in Word and organize your file on your computer. This is great. The problem is you get yet another copy of the file. More and more files are created and you get many different versions and it leads to a lot of confusion. Also, you can't easily share changes with each other. You have to re-upload them to somebody else, send another email, back and forth, back and forth. It all becomes very cumbersome to control. Next, you can move this document to your Google Drive. This is what I normally do. Once you do this, the document is saved in your Google Drive and can be opened, edited, and shared as a Google Doc. This is best for working with others. Note, sometimes formatting is lost. Columns will be lost, fonts will be lost. I don't mind this, since Google Docs is all about creating content and not about making things look pretty. So here we go. Click on the icon to save to Drive. It asks me where do I want to put it. I say in a new folder. I'm going to call this Parent Teacher Conference and create, and I move it. Now this Word document has been converted over into a Google Drive document and it's in my Google Drive. Let's go look at it. So I'm going to go up to a new tab, go to my Drive, go into the Parent Teacher Conference. There's a document. I can open it and I can share it or edit it. The great thing about moving the document to Google Drive is it allows you to choose where the file goes immediately. You get to organize your documents right away. Afterwards, it's very easy to share the document and to easily share the folder. But you don't get to open the document right away. All you've done is saved it. You must navigate to your Drive, then to the folder, and then open the document. Lastly, you can open and edit the file in Google Docs. This is great. The document is automatically converted into a Google Doc and you can start editing and sharing right away. You can even share it back to the person who sent it to you. Note, this places the document in the root of your Google Drive. That is, it can't be placed in a particular folder. So I'm going to click on the icon to edit with Google Docs. There is the document. I can now edit it, make all kinds of changes to it, and then share it back. I'm going to share it back to David Miller Relk at gmail.com. And I'm going to allow them to edit it, and I'm going to say to them, here are my changes. Let me know what you think. And send. And it says here, you are sharing to David Miller Relk, who is not in the Google Apps organization that you belong to. Is that okay? And I am sure. So I click on yes, and it gets sent off to David Miller-Relk, and he can now come in here and make changes, and I can make changes, and we can work together on that. But now again, you don't want to leave this in the root directory of your Google Drive. So I'm going to close this, and I'm going to go over to my Google Drive. And I'm going to see that this form is right here, and I'm going to move it to the parent-teacher conference folder so I can use it there instead. So I'm going to make a new folder, parent-teacher conference, create, and move both of these files into that folder. Opening the folder, you can see that I have the original document, the Word document, and the one that the parent and I will work on together. So the great thing about editing the document in Google Docs is you get to quickly start editing and sharing your document. There's no need to save it, go and find it, open it, and then start editing. You start editing right away and sharing right away. The difficulty, the drawback is the file's not organized. It's just right at the root of your drive, and you have to go back later and organize it. My personal preference is to move the document into Drive. I then later go and navigate to the drive, navigate to the folder, and then open the document. The great thing about this is the organization, and it's all about organization. That's how you're going to find your files when you need them, if you organize them first and not after. I hope now that knowing the different methods for working with attachments has made your life easier. For more help, please contact the help desk at vizquatar.org.